Are you interested in becoming a millionaire? How about a multi-millionaire? As business owners, in order to get to those levels, I believe you need to learn a certain set of skills. And the number one skill that business owners should be focusing the vast majority of their attention on is sales. You see, sales gets a significantly bad rap, and a lot of people just feel really, really uncomfortable when it comes to sales and sales concepts and strategies. But the reality is this: in every single interaction you are going to have in life, you are either selling yourself, a service, or a product. So if you're going to invest anywhere, sales and sales strategies and techniques, that's what you want to learn. So where do you start? I believe that one of the number one ways to begin your journey is to start by disrupting the status quo. When you look at the customer's journey with you, oftentimes most business owners consider that there are only two outcomes. They either buy with you or they buy from a competitor. But the reality is there's a third outcome. The third outcome is this: they can essentially do nothing. And in fact, there have actually been studies that show that up to 40% of the lost sales are not lost to a competitor, they're actually lost to no decision at all. Because it's pretty easy for your potential customer to just continue doing what they've always been doing that has led them to the point where they're even engaging with you in the first place. Doing nothing is so simple because of this concept of inertia. Remember way back in school when you were learning the concepts of physics and a body at rest will stay at rest unless acted upon by an outside force? Well, that's the reality of the customer experience too. Your process needs to include an understanding of moving your customer off of that stationary point so that they actually make a decision to act. Again, maybe they don't act with you, but making a decision to act, as long as it's in their best interest, is something you should be helping them with. You should be helping them understand that that's a component of how you're adding value in this particular experience with the customer. Now, we need to understand how you actually do that. So one of the ways you can actually move a customer off of that status quo state is to introduce unconsidered needs. The vast majority of business owners who are engaged in sales, they actually take an approach to building out the conversation based on really what the customer is telling you they need. The problem with that is you end up having what I refer to as commoditized conversations. Commoditized conversations are essentially the fact that you engage in talking points that every other competitor is also engaged with. Why? Because they're also getting the same feedback from those potential customers with regard to what the customer believes they need. But your job is to know so fully and so deeply what you do and how you add value that you can foresee the challenges that your customer can't even recognize themselves. And by introducing these unconsidered issues, these unconsidered needs, you can disrupt the status quo by having conversations that are no longer commoditized. You essentially differentiate yourself from your competitors by introducing a challenge that your customer doesn't even recognize they have. And in that introduction, you are demonstrating how your solutions get them the resolution to the challenges they didn't even recognize in the first place. And that is an excellent way for you to disrupt the status quo. You need to now motivate into action. And the best way to do that is through creating a sense of urgency. I have found that over the course of the past 25 years that I've been engaging in sales conversations with potential customers, the best way to do that is by going through this concept of customer-based storytelling with contrast. The customer-based storytelling with contrast is essentially this: you're packaging your messaging now through the lens of a previous customer's experience. But it's important to add contrast, and the best way to do that is to show in your storytelling the before state that that customer had before engaging with you. What was their life like? What were the challenges they were experiencing? How was that actually impacting them? Not only in their personal life, but maybe even their business life. Just going through that entire environment, describing what that before state looks like. And then describing the after state. What is their life like now, having engaged with you, having learned through you based on what your service was or your product is? How did that change their life for the better? And when you do that, you're now creating and leveraging this concept of emotion in the mind of your potential customer. Because you can deliver really good storytelling, you're allowing that customer to experience the journey through the experience of someone else. It's almost like when you go and watch a movie and you can almost envision yourself yourself being in that hero's journey along with the main character. The same thing needs to happen within your customer sales discussions, whether that's your messaging that's in written form, whether that's your messaging face-to-face with your customer, whether that's in sales videos or presentations that you're providing to your customer to consume. I'm so excited because now you have the formula to take your sales discussions to the next level. And that next level is going to lead to higher revenue. But I want you to actually keep much more of what you're making. So you're going to want to be sure to check out this video over here, which is going to show you one form that you can fill out that can help you save more than $7,650 each and every year.